Is this a nice little seafood? But just when you go to start. All right. This is a traditional melody for the psalm that we say during the Hebrew month of Elul, leading up to Rosh Hashanah, Psalm 27. We express a longing for one thing, to feel that eternal presence with us and to be in God's presence. Just try the nigun, this wordless melody with us. That repeats. Page 128, 128. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, ידעי, ידעי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, ידעי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, ידעי, ידעי. הנה מה טוב, הנה מה טוב, ידעי, ידעי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, ידעי, ידעי. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Shabbat Shalom, everybody.
Shabbat Shalom.
So good to see you, friends, here on the green on this perfect evening as we welcome Shabbat. Some of us are here with heavy hearts. Some of us are here with joyful hearts. Some of us are here, just to be with community. Some of us, according to Lauren, are splitting the difference a little bit. We're carrying a lot with us into this evening. This is an exciting time of year. Lots is going on. And I'll invite us to be mindful and notice what we're carrying in our hearts, but also to think, what are the things that you're carrying that it would be more helpful to imagine being inside of your car right now and not in your hands. And that's what we are here to do for at least the next hour or so, is to breathe in the feeling of Shabbat, share the sense of joy and possibility, and enjoy being with one another as community. So in that regard, I invite us all to please find somebody sitting near you haven't yet wished Shabbat Shalom, and wish them a good Shabbos. And as we're doing that, Jackson, I'm going to invite you with your mom and your grandma and your stepmom to come up here for the candle blessing. Yeah, walk around this way when you come. It's easier. Good job. So what you're going to do is first the ladies in your family are going to read something right here, and then you're going to go up and light the candles together. Are you going to light the candles? Sure. All right. Matches are waiting for you. Please come on up. Friends, as we welcome Shabbat, we bring it in with light, page 120.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we, by our lives, give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generation of Israel who have kindled light, so may we, in our own day, be among those who kindle light.
Amen. All right. Wait, hold on, just 1 second.
Sorry.
If you want, you can get closer to him too. You guys can go up. Yeah, you can come too. Nice shoe.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu להדליק נר של Shabbat. Thank you very much to Jackson and your family. I love that. Multiple generations participating in the ritual.
Absolutely.
As we're excited to continue that joy in this your bar mitzvah weekend. How exciting. And the sense of joy we bring into Shabbat continues in our Kabbalat Shabbat service on page 130 with Lichu Neranena. And this is a special melody that's a little new. And Dr. C is here to remind us how it goes.
All right, so I'm going to sing the first part, and then I'm going to ask you to sing the first part, and that part repeats, and then I'll do the second and ask you to do the second. And after we're done with those ooh, ooh, oohs, you'll have it down, I promise. Okay, so the first part. Ooh, 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 ooh. All right, that's yours. Ready? Excellent. All right, the second part goes up. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Your turn. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, let's start with the first round of oohs. We're going to save them twice, and then we're going to start singing with the words. Ready? Ooh, 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 לכו נרננה, לאדוני נריע,
לצור ישנו, לצור ישנו, לכו נרננה, לאדוני נריע, לצור ישנו, לצור ישנו.
נקדמה פניו,
פניו בתודה,
בזמירות נריע לו. נקדמה פניו,
פניו בתודה,
בזמירות נריע לו.
לכו נרננה, לאדוני נריע, לצור ישנו, לצור ישנו. That repeats לכו, לכו נרננה, לאדוני נריע, לצור ישנו, לצור ישנו.
נקדמה פניו,
פניו, can't hear you, בתודה. That's just call and response. Let's try doing that part. פניו, תודה.
נקדמה פניו,
Let's hear it. פניו בתודה, נריע לו. Page 132, bottom of the page, or zaru ala tzadik ulegishrei lev simcha. Light is sown for the righteous and joy for the upright. Or zaru ala tzadik ulegishrei lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik Yishrei lev simcha, or zaru ala tzadik, or Yishrei lev simcha, Yishrei lev simcha, or zaru ala tzadik, or Yishrei lev simcha, Yishrei lev simcha. The next part is yalalai, yalalai, yalalai. Zarua Latzadik Yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Yishrei lev simcha. Or Zarua Latzadik Yishrei lev simcha. Yishrei lev simcha. Or zaru ala tzadik Yishrei lev simcha, Yishrei lev simcha. Yai dai 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 yai dai dai yai dai yai dai 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 yai dai 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 yai dai yai dai dai yai dai. I can tell we're really starting to wake up our voices, and it's lovely to hear us singing together in a community. I know that it's so much nicer to be outside, but I'm actually also looking forward to when we can be inside and really feel the reverberations of everybody's voices in harmony too. So there's something good on either side. We join together for Lecha Dodi on page 138, and this one is also going to be a call and response. So it's okay if these prayers are not that familiar to you. Over time, we gain that familiarity and confidence. And in the meantime, there's lots of call and response and lots of Yailalai, which is itself a type of prayer. So if you don't feel like you know what's going on, you're not the only one, and it's okay. The most important thing is just to sing and smile.
Absolutely.
Oh, and by the way, if you're in one of the thinner books, we're in the bracketed page numbers. In case it's confusing, it can be a little confusing. If you don't have any brackets, don't worry about it. It's the right page number that I'm saying.
שמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה. לך דודי, לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה, מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. מקדש מלך אל מלוכה, ומצאים מתוך ההפכה, לך שבט בעמק הבכה, והוא יחמול עלייך חמלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Verse 5, התעוררי. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורך ומאורי, אורי אורי שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. לך דודי, דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. We now rise and we face the entrance to this space as symbolically Shabbat enters our midst.
בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני ים סגולה, בואי חלה, בואי חלה.
לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי, לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לך דודי לקראת קלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Stay standing as we turn to page 146 for our call to prayer in our Ma'ariv service. et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. HaMevorach HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed. We can all have a seat as we turn the page. Page 148. We'll join together in this blessing for this beautiful evening. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Tzvaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai Hama'ariv Aravim.
Amen.
Page 151, wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol.
All
these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works, the living language that gives its form? Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Blessed are you, O God, you give us your love through Torah. We're going to sing. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam va'ed. Page 154.
V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levacha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'eleh asher havchim mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'divarta abam B'shivtecha b'beitecha, u'b'leftecha v'derech, u'b'shokrecha u'b'kumecha, u'b'shaitan le'od hayadecha, v'hayu letotachot b'einecha, u'chtavtam hamezuzot beitecha, u'b'yisharecha, le'man tizkeru, v'asitem et kol mitzvotai, Vitem kedoshim leloechem, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim, liod lachem Elohim, Ani Adonai Elohechem, Adonai Elohechem emet. Nice job. Jackson will see you a little bit later in the service. Friends, we're on page 158. This is our freedom song, a song of celebration, of opportunity, of liberation, of everything that feels unchained for us. This is the moment to actualize and feel that in our lives. Page 158. Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha nehedar v'kodesh, norah te'iloro
Rosefele, Noratehi lo Rosefele. Malefutecha,
ובניך, חוקי הים לפני משה ומרים.
Ze'elianu ve'amu, Ze'elianu ve'ameru, Adonai yimloch le'olam ha'ed, Adonai yimloch le'olam ha'ed. Let's bring it up a little. Yalala, here we go. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 lai. Yai, lai, 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 yai, yai, lai, lai, lai.
ונאמר, כי פד אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Page 160.
Grant, O God, that we lie down in peace and raise us up, our guardian, to life renewed. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Guide us with your good counsel. For your name's sake, be our help. Shield and shelter us beneath the shadow of your wings. Defend us against enemies, illness, war, famine, and sorrow. Distance us from wrongdoing. For you, God, watch over us and deliver us. For you, God, are gracious and merciful. Guard our going and coming to life and to peace evermore.
ושמור צאתנו ובואנו לחיים ולשלום מעתה ועד עולם. ברוך אתה אדוני הקורא סוכת שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ועל ירושלים.
Page 162.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, ואת הארץ. וביום השביעי שבת ויהי נפש, שבת ויהי נפש.
As the evening descends, Gesundheit. As the pollen descends, as the summer descends. We feel so grateful for all that we have been given in this life, for all that has come before and all that will follow us. It's only natural at a time of great transition, getting ready for a new year, celebrating a bar mitzvah, observing a loss, saying Shiva, that we think of all those for whom we bear the gifts of what they left behind. And so an opportunity arises in the Amidah to connect with the generations before looking back to our ancestors, to our family members, to those who raised us and loved us and brought us into being who we are today. I'll invite us to rise on page 164, page 164 for the words of the Amidah.
Adonai,
Sefatai tiftachu fi agitei ilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor ve'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomer Chasadim Tovim, Ve'konei Hakol, Ve'zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imaot, U'mevii Geula livnei bneihem, Le'man Shemo ve'Ahava, Melech Ozer u'Moshiach u'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Bezat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayei hakol atah Rav le'Hoshia. Morid atah, Mechalkel chayim le'chesed, Mechayei hakol berachamim rabim. Somech noflim ve'ropeh cholim, Umatir asurim, Umekayem emunato Lishenei afar. Mi chamocha ba'al gevurot, Umidomer elach, Melech limit umechayeh, Umatzmiach Yeshua. Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayei hakol. Page 170. Atah kadosh v'shimcha kadosh, u'kadoshim b'chol yom yahallelu chasara. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. Continue with a moment of silent prayer. If you'd like to follow the words of the prayer book between here and page 180, you're welcome to do so. Or feel free to just offer the prayer of your heart, Tfilat Halev. When you're ready, but not before then, please have a seat. Page 180.
שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו
ועל כל ישראל. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. עושה שלום במרומיו, הוא יעשה שלום עלינו. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. יעשה שלום, יעשה שלום, שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל. As I said at the outset of our time here, many of us, whether we've come to the green or whether we're participating here on Zoom, have come into this space with some heaviness in our hearts. Perhaps someone in our lives is in need of healing, and so we're here to say Misha Berach for them, for anyone in our community who we know is in need of healing and wishes to be recognized. So I'll share their names and I'll invite us to do the same if we wish afterward. We think of our temple members, April D'Amato, Norma Diamond, Ken Gammerman, Henry Gettenberg, Susan Glantz, Phyllis Kaufman, Josh Lipschitz, Paula Retsky, and Ellen Warner. And also our loved ones, Linda Kaufman, Lenore Shapiro, Connie Ambrosino, Mickey Bart, Jay Fliss, Sue Yaris, Tony Esposito, Joanne Crisulo, Brian Kamens, Steve Kamens, Cecilia Byrne, Florence Harf, Miri Gold, Sabine Meyer, Gloria Newell, Ann Billock, Michael Stoller, Paul Frisman, Bruce Petroff, Shelley Sherman Koslow, Jordan Lustig, Neil Siegel, Tim Maurer, Ruth Ottenheimer, Carla Feinkind, Marion Macon, Ben Peck, Mark Potter, Martha Potter, Sherry Cohn, Joan Sidney, Deborah Coulomb, Lori Vogt, Alexa Miller, Michael Stafford, Ira Weiss, and Drew Garabo. And if you've come here tonight to say Misha Berach, but I did not read your loved one's name, feel free to say it aloud if you wish as I come around this area. If you're on Zoom, you can add it into the chat at this time. We'll recognize all those in need of healing. Anybody from Misha Berach? We think also of Carol Robb. How about Klein Benet? I invite you to turn to page 371 as we join together in this prayer for healing, Misha Berach.
May the source of strength who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishebeach imotenu mekol habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
Well, we have a special guest darshanit tonight. It's always a pleasure to hear words of Torah from those in our own congregation. We have so many learned and wise and learning within our congregation. It's lovely to invite a special friend, Mrs. Judy Miriam, to share some words of Torah. This one might be better for you.
Yeah, okay. Or not as tall.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is the Hebrew month of Elul. Elul precedes our high holidays and provides us the opportunity to focus intentionally on our behaviors. It has always been a difficult time for me. I look back over the past year and see the glaring missteps I have taken and the mitzvot I have ignored. And when I look at this week's Torah portion, Ki Titzeh, and read about the myriad behaviors we should avoid and all of the mitzvot we should do, I'm overwhelmed. In fact, this parsha alone contains 64 of the Torah's 613 commandments. These include the laws of marrying a beautiful captive woman, the inherited rights of the firstborn, the rights of laborers, what we should do with the rebellious son, burial and dignity of the dead, returning a lost object. I think you get it. After reading this portion, I suffer what some have called compassion fatigue. How can anyone ever do all that is asked for in this parsha? It's easy to say, well, many of these commandments are no longer relevant and I can ignore them. I don't think I have to worry about abhorring an Egyptian or returning my neighbor's wayward ox. So why do these prohibitions and commands matter anymore? And why do they make me pay attention? Upon reflection, I don't think the Torah is really asking us to do what we cannot. It promises rewards for even easy acts of compassion. Remember this commandment in 23:17. Do not deduct interest from loans to your countrymen, so that the Lord your God may bless you. And in 24:19, do not return to your field for sheaves you may have forgotten. Leave them for the stranger and the widow, in order that the Lord your God may bless you in all your undertakings. Or the famous commandment in chapter 22, verse 6. If along the road you chance upon a bird's nest, in any tree or on the ground, with fledglings or eggs, and the mother sitting over the fledglings or on the eggs, do not take the mother together with her young. Let the mother go and take only the young, in order that you may fare well and have a long life. This was an easy commandment. We were not being asked to build a parapet on our roof, for example, make a loud noise, and the mother bird will fly away. Do this, the Torah tells us, so you may fare well and have a long life. Isn't the Torah telling us then that all acts of compassion are valuable, the hard ones and the easy ones? So it seems to me what we are being asked to do is to try to create order in the world where there is chaos. The Torah is talking about universal, ethical, transcendent behaviors, both communal and interpersonal, and these do endure. The Parsha ends with the directive to blot out Amalek and remember what he did on our journey out of Egypt. In Exodus, we learn that the Amalekites staged a sneak attack on the defenseless weak among the Israelites who were lagging in the rear. Amalek was ruthless. God wants us to behave in a more compassionate way. So as I enter these days of reflection, I have a new attitude. I will try not to dwell on the mitzvot I miss. I will try to remember that even the small acts of kindness I might show will reward me with a long life. No more compassion fatigue. So join me on my journey. Let's remember that whatever we do to help build an ethical and just society will endure and will be rewarded, even the easy acts of compassion. Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I just love that. Thank you so much. Yeah, what empowering Torah. And it reminds me, Judy, of a rabbinic aphorism concerning the mitzvot, that achamorot kekalot v'akalot kechamorot, that the mitzvot that are the hardest to do should feel easy. And the ones that are easy, we should consider them with seriousness, and they should feel significant. And that is one thing that your words remind me, and I think is very valuable. And in fact, maybe you've inspired me a little for what I'm going to say on Rosh Hashanah. So I'm thinking about that. Thank you so much.
Yay.
All right. Very good. By the way, friends, you too could give a Dvar Torah at a service. You too could share words of Torah. And if you don't feel like you even know where to start, could I suggest coming by our Torah study on Saturday mornings, where all are welcome, and where Lauren Sturman will be leading tomorrow, which will be wonderful. She's being too bashful.
And we're absolutely marvelous conversations happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's really
fantastic. Wonderful.
fantastic.
It's a wonderful community of discussion and conversation and Torah study. And so if you haven't been, it couldn't be easier these days than clicking a little link and bringing your coffee. So hope to see you there.
Including tomorrow, she said. I heard her.
I think she said especially tomorrow.
Especially tomorrow. Oh, that's what it was.
All right, friends, we proceed now to the concluding parts of our service, beginning with Aleinu L'Shabeach on page 586. Please, if you're comfortable, rise and join us.
Aleinu
L'Shabeach
l'shabeach
l'Adon hakol, לתת גדולה ליוצר בראשית, שלא עשנו כגויי הרצון, ולא שמנו כמשפחות האדמה, שלא שם חלקנו כהם, וגורר עלינו ככל המונם, ואנחנו קוראים משתחווים ומודים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים, הקדוש ברוך הוא. Page 591. ונאמר, והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ, ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד, ושמו Ushemo, Ushemo Echad. You can all have a seat, except for Marlene Schwartz, who's here to greet us on behalf of our board.
Shabbat Shalom, everyone. A warm welcome to any guests that are here with us tonight. My name is Marlene Schwartz, and I'm a member at large on the board of directors. Tomorrow, please join us on Zoom for a Jewish mindfulness and meditation at 8 a.m., followed by a very special Torah study led by Lauren Sturman. Then at 10 a.m., we celebrate Jackson Eater's becoming a bar mitzvah with a Shabbat service on Zoom. Mazel tov. This Tuesday, September 13th, we will once again host a building tour with wine and cheese. So if you haven't come by to see the building, please do that. Then on Thursday, September 15th at 7:30 p.m., Kol Ami will celebrate Rosh Chodesh with Rabbi Susan Landau Moss. And that is also on Zoom, correct? All TBT women are welcome. Then on Saturday, September 17th at 8 p.m., enter into the high holidays with our Salichot service here at the First Congregational Church. The relevant links for all of the things that I mentioned are in your inbox. On Friday, September 23rd, between 2 and 4 p.m. in the TBT parking lot, it's time to pick up your high holiday Machzor prayer books. If you will be attending high holiday services, which I hope you are, whether in person or virtually. So please plan on driving through and picking up your copies and let the office know by September 19th how many copies you'll need to reserve. Finally, next Friday, Shabbat services will be right here at 6:30, and we will be changing the Torah's mantle into its high holiday white, and everyone may take part in this stirring ritual. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom, Marlene. And I'm thinking, giving the sun going down earlier situation, we might start with that mantle change early next week as opposed to later. So if you can join us next week for really what is a very stirring ceremony to change the Torah cover over and spiritually prepare for the high holidays in that way, as we think about changing our own garments, spiritually speaking, then please try to come by around 6 next week. And I think we'll change the Torah covers early, as opposed to later. Maybe get started with the service a little early. So fair warning, we'll let you know in an email too. And by the way, if you're new here, we want to know you, we want to see you, we want to welcome you. And Marlene, who just spoke, will be really happy to talk with you, as are any of our leaders and board members, many of whom are here. So feel free to, don't be a stranger. That applies to any guests and first timers here. So my friends, it's time for us to conclude our service with a moment of memory as we turn in our hearts to all those who have passed away, who meant something in our lives, and whose memories endure within our lives, even though their presence is no longer bodily here. And so we think, of course, of those who are in the period of Shiva and Shloshim. I invite you to please rise and stay standing if you're comfortable, including those passed away in the 7 and 30 days. Frank Toscano, father of Linda Nadell, and Lester Horwitz, father of Ethan Horwitz. We think also of all those who passed away at this time in years gone by: Emily Capozzi, Benjamin B. Levine, Berta Menkes, Patty Gelman, Morris Lieberman, Richard Phelps, Sally Spiegel, Mina Wass, Leo Wass, Jay Agronoff, Irene Lane, George Radner, Ani Zolshan, Tekla Rosenthal, Lillian Barron, and Meryl Roberts. And if you're here to say Kaddish this evening for someone else whom I did not name, you may hold them in your heart, or of course share the name aloud with the community if you feel comfortable doing so at this time, whether in person or in the chat on Zoom. The Midrash says that the people of Israel are like a body, where when one limb, one digit is hurting, the rest of us can feel it. And so we rise in solidarity with all our people. If it's comfortable, please stand and join us on page 598. Yitgadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, v'yomad yivrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, v'chayechon v'yom echon v'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, v'agala v'zman kariv v'yimru amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevorach le'olam le'olmei amayah, yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yithadar v'yitalev v'yitalal shmei d'kedusha b'rechu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechamata, damiran be'alma v'yimru amen. Yehi shalama rabba min shemaya, v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'al kol shetim. Amen. May the source of peace bring peace to the hearts of all who are grieving this day. As together we say,
Amen.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, v'yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru amen. Friends, we can all have a seat. Wish consolation to all of our mourners on this evening. And just like that glass underneath the wedding canopy, so too when we hold that feeling, we hold a feeling of great joy as we welcome our bar mitzvah and his family to our bima. You're going to help us lead Kiddush. Don't look at me like a deer in the headlights. You knew this was coming. So come on up. We're going to make some Kiddush together. I believe it's on page 123. Come next to me. Yeah. Family comes up. Family comes up. Don't worry about it. Yes, you can. Remember, first the grape juice and then the follow. All right. Come on over, everybody. Don't be shy. Nobody bites. All right. You can hold this one. On the count of three, we're going to sing. Ready? 1, 2. You will have to take a sip afterwards if you're comfortable sipping grape juice. Okay. 2, 3.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho v'ahava uvratzon itilanu, zikaron lema'aseh b'reishit, ki hu yom tefillah l'mikra'ei kodesh, zecher l'yetziat Mitzrayim, ki banu v'acharta, v'otanu kidashta, mikol ha'amim, v'shabbat kodeshecha, v'ahava uvratzon inchaltanu, baruch atah Adonai b'kodesh hashava l'chaim.
That was a taste. As sweet as becoming a bar mitzvah? Yeah. Want to lead us in Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam,
Hamotzi lechem min haaretz v'te'avo.
which is Hebrew for bon appetit. Share with your family.
Bon appetit.
Amazing. Mazel tov to Jackson and his fam. We've run out of sunlight, so let's not even worry about the words. Let's just end with the nigun, which we started with. Please enjoy the challah. Yeah, bring it around. That's right.
You're good.
The words
can
of
stay
Psalm
if you want.
27. One thing I ask, but one thing do I seek, to behold Adonai, to frequent God's temple.
Yeah.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shalom.
Shabbat shalom.
Buddy, how you doing? How did that feel up there? You're tired, right? Great singing.
Oh, thank you. Shabbat shalom.
Nice brains, maybe.